Hello and good afternoon, students and families. Welcome to our third College and Career Exploration panel of the summer, the benefits of volunteering and internships. My name is Jessica Torres and I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator with Families in Schools. And we are so happy to have you joining us today. At Families in Schools, we involve families and communities in their children's education to achieve lifelong success. And we do this through advocacy, professional development for educators, and community engagement programs such as this one. So welcome. Passport to Success College and Career Edition is only 2 weeks away from its wrap-up date, and we are looking forward to seeing all of the students' submissions. As a reminder, for those students who are participating and would like to enter for a chance to win a $1,000 scholarship, the submission deadline is August 1st. August 1st by 11:59 p.m. You can go ahead and please submit your workbooks. And you can go ahead and do this by visiting bit.ly/PTS submission 2021, which is on our website. Or you can go ahead and email it to me at jtorres@familiesinschools.org. So for those of you who have the hard copy version of the workbooks, you don't need to go ahead and mail them out to us. Just go ahead and you can scan it, or you can go ahead and take photos of the pages and go ahead and submit it online at bit.ly/PTS Scholar on our website, or again, email it to me at jtorres@familiesinschools.org. So once again, welcome to Passport to Success, our live panel of the summer. And submissions for workbooks are due August 1st. So please go ahead and submit those by August 1st at 11:59 p.m. And now to get started with this great conversation, today's panel consists of a community college advisor and 2 students who have been highly involved in extracurricular activities, and they'll like to go ahead and share their journey with you all. So before I hand it over, I would like to introduce our moderator, Andrea Jaime, who is a student success and advisor at Los Angeles Technical Trade College, and she has experience supporting students as they navigate and explore their interests. Andrea is also currently attending Cal State LA as a graduate student in counseling. So we are so excited to have her lead this conversation. So it's all yours, Andrea. Please take it away. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you all. My name's Andrea. Again, like she said, I'm currently going to Cal State LA, getting my master's in counseling. I am an advisor and success coach at LA Trade Tech, and I previously worked at Cal State Fullerton as a career coach. So I think it's really important on getting extracurriculars in at a young age and being able to find out the benefits of volunteering and internships. So again, today's panel, as Jessica mentioned, is the benefits of volunteering and internships. You'll have the opportunity to hear from current college students and graduate students who were highly involved in extracurricular activities prior to college. You'll also gain a better understanding of what the benefits are to volunteering and internships, and being able to kind of explore more interest through that and how your careers can appeal to the certain volunteering or internships that you do and how they may not. So for the parents as well, it's to be able to get a better understanding of how to support your students with this process. So today I wanted to go ahead and introduce the other 2 panelists that will be on here. We will be introducing Cynthia as well. And we have another panelist as well right after. Cynthia, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia. I'm currently a graduate student at Cal State LA. With Andrea, actually, we're in the counseling program that focuses on school-based family counseling. And previously for undergrad, I also attended Cal State LA, and my undergrad major was urban learning, which is essentially education, and my focus was in special education.
And if we want to introduce ourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jose Espinoza, and I'm a student at Cal State Long Beach, and I'm in my junior year right now, and I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in sociology.
Thank you, Jose. So I'm going to start off with a few questions for the panelists just to hear a little bit more about their experiences in volunteering and internships. Before I get started, again, my name is Andrea, and just a little bit about me as far as doing my volunteer and internships throughout high school and college. I did want to go into nursing, and so I actually did an internship in right when I was 18, right when I was a senior in high school, and I went in to volunteer at a hospital and did a program. It's called Hope or Cope. So I did that, and I found out that I really did not want to work at a hospital setting. I knew I wanted to help people, but at the same time, I knew it wasn't at a hospital setting just due to the volunteer experience that I was able to get. So that actually led me to changing my major because I was going to major in nursing. And so I decided to major in psychology instead. And so it was through that experience of being able to do that volunteer and internship that I found out like what I didn't like. So again, your internships or volunteers don't always have to be what you like or something you're like, oh, maybe I think I'm gonna like it. It can also let you know what you don't like as well. So that's just a viewpoint from my experience. But I do want to ask to the panelists, in high school and in college, what type of volunteer work or internships were you a part of? And did they align with your career goals at that time?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, either one, whoever wants to talk first.
Okay, so for me in high school, my volunteering, I would volunteer in the summers. I think as soon as I turned 16, my parents told me like either you find a job or you volunteer, but you're not staying home. So I started volunteering at my elementary school, and I worked with I think it was with preschoolers or with kindergarteners. So I helped out in the classroom, and it was just from the mornings from like 9 to 12 until they were out from summer school, and I really enjoyed that. That's kind of what influenced me to want to study education in my undergrad. So then once I was at Cal State LA, my first volunteer opportunity was with again working in a school. And then that time is when I started working with in a special ed classroom, and that was my first experience with that. And that also kind of pushed my interest to learn more about like what that is and how I can study that. So I would say that it did really align with my career goals. I think at the time I didn't really know it, but because I liked it so much, I was like, okay, how can I do this? Like, how can I study this and make this my career?
And how about you, Jose?
So, like around like 11th grade, I started like volunteering with different like homeless shelters. That where I started, to get passionate about helping in my community. Then like around my community college, I started to be more involved, like more like in like helping like phone banking, like for example the 50 wage in California. So I was like helping rallies and doing public speaking and passing information to people, like the importance of the 50 minimum wage. And when I got to university to Custody language, I was started to be more involved with nonprofits, and like around the summer of 2019, I started to found families in schools. So ever since, like in college, I've been involved with different nonprofits in California, Los Angeles.
So would you say that, aligned with your career goals in the past or now?
Like back in high school, like I was still like exploring career, and I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school, and basically like when I got to Cal State Long Beach, I kind of like figured like I kind of want to do something with maybe help be part of like nonprofits or work in a nonprofit organization. So
Okay.
pretty much.
Yeah, so it sounds like you both kind of explored and kind of found exactly what you were looking for as far as like career. It aligned with both of you. Okay. So another question I have is, what have your career goals changed since then? Since the past or now? Has there been any change in your career goals? And have you volunteered or internship in anything now that's kind of different than what you did in high school?
I could start. So for me, like when I started volunteering with public schools, I kind of started to figure out like I want to do something at least helping with families and education and students, something like that. And because before that, I was still like confused, like exploring and being part of family school, kind of like want to do something with like how they are doing helping families, making sure students go to college and all of that.
Okay.
And earlier this year, I applied for an internship. It was for helping those who are like struggling and finding resources, for families, and I was like involved with doing like helping with them like workshops and data research, and it's very similar to what I was doing in family school. So
So it seems like you knew what you kind of wanted to do as far as helping people, right? How about you, Cynthia? Has it changed for you, or has it kind of stayed the same?
It has changed. I still want to work in education, and I'm still passionate about education, as that's what I studied at Cal State LA as an undergrad. But now I want to focus more on like mental health, social emotional wellness, and really working closely with students and their families as a counselor. So it's still, kind of like in education, still working in the schools, just in a different area.
Yeah, so it seems like you both got different experiences in your different internships and volunteer experiences, but they both brought you something, even though they were with helping people. It's a different experience all around too. So, talking about these experiences, did they lead you to choosing your specific major that you have now? And if so, then tell us about your experience in choosing that major. Or did any of the experiences at all that you had in the past say like, nope, this is not going to be the major or career for me? Is there anything in particular that kind of stood out that you didn't like, that you found out about in your internship? Or what did help you decide whether this led you to your major?
For me, I did several kind of volunteer and internship opportunities in undergrad. So one of the internships that I did was with E26LA, which is a nonprofit writing and tutoring center in Echo Park. And working at E26LA, it wasn't out of school, so it was a different experience for me because it is still like an education, and we're still helping students with their academics, but it's a lot more creative. So having that internship kind of let me see what else is possible with my degree, like not just working in a school and not just being a teacher, but really understanding that like there's other routes for me. I don't just have to fit that mold of a teacher in a classroom. I could work in other places and still be an educator and still work with kids or with students and their families. So that kind of helped me see that for myself and explore that after I graduated from college.
So is that what kind of led you to your major now, the counseling major?
I would say it kind of pushed me to that route because I did down the line a few years later, I did work at 826LA when there was an open position because I had made connections with the staff there. Somebody reached out to me years later that the position of a program coordinator was open and if I was interested. So I did work there for 2 years and working in that position, I realized that there was a high need for a focus on social emotional mental health, especially working with the students that I was working with, and that kind of pushed my interest to see like what else I could do, even if I was working with students, and if I wanted to go back and work in the schools. I didn't want to be a teacher. I knew that at the time. So I was like exploring different career options, and I knew I was passionate about mental health, and that's what led me to the program that I'm in now.
And how about you, Jose? Did your experiences lead you to the major you're choosing? Or was there anything that you didn't like about your internships that you kind of helped you choose?
So basically, like based on the experience of like volunteer and internships, I chose my major sociology because I guess I was just, interested and curious about like why certain like communities are like low income people compared to other communities, and curious like also like studying the behavior of different individuals and just like overall like why different communities are treated differently, and why there is more need in one place compared to another place. So just like curious and I was just interested. So basically that's the reason why I chose sociology as my major.
Was there anything that made you, in your experiences, say, I don't like doing this certain thing, or maybe I'm not interested in this certain thing? Or you liked a lot of it?
Basically, like everything that I did, when it was volunteer and internship, I really did enjoy. And maybe the only thing I really didn't enjoy was like interacting with like maybe like the homeless people, because like they tend to not like get bothered, and so maybe that would be, I guess, the only one I guess I didn't like.
Okay. Yeah. So just hearing that from both of you guys, you can kind of paint a picture for parents and for the students listening of how you can kind of figure out what you like and what you don't like from certain volunteer internships. It could even be working with specific populations at a specific setting, a specific place. Do you want to work at a hospital, homeless shelter, with families, with just kids? So these are some questions you can start asking yourselves or your children. You can start thinking about what populations or what settings you want to work in. So these are just some questions you can start to think about. So another question I have for both of you is, how did your volunteer internship prepare you for your college experience?
I could start. So, like in high school, even like from middle school to high school, I used to be like one of the most shy person in the classroom. So I would never like speak a word. I would never interact with no one, and like I was just known as the most quietest kid in the school. So then until like 11th grade, I felt like doing volunteer internship kind of helped boost my little bit of my confidence and self-esteem. And like if you told me like middle school like you will be doing like right now a workshop, I wouldn't believe you. So I feel like that help doing volunteer internship would help me, I guess, prepare to whatever I need to go to college and doing all these other things, pursue a career and going to college and all that.
That's great to hear, Jose. How about you, Cynthia?
For the different volunteer and internship opportunities that I did, one of them was through Cal State LA. They have, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called EPIC. It's a program, but I don't know if they still have it, but you could volunteer and it would count as a credit for a class. We volunteered and then we would submit like an essay writing about our experience. So that allowed me to interact with other students that were also volunteering and would go to the EPIC office. And then as part of doing my internship, I was also able to be on a panel in my undergrad as part of the Career Center. They asked students that had participated in internships if they wanted to be on a panel to talk about their experiences. So it really just helped me like make connections with different people, different students. And I think the internships, it prepared me. I don't think it prepared me like a lot for college. I would say it more prepared me for like to know what to do after college, like to, kind of build like a network with people out in the field already, and then experience different, I would say like different careers, maybe working with different people to see what that's like and see what I did like, what I didn't like. But then also it really helped me have that connection with people outside of college, which led me to get a job down the line. So I was really grateful for that and building those connections and my internships and my volunteer opportunities that I had.
Great. So from the takeaway from both of your answers as far as how it prepared you for college, I think for Cynthia, for you, it was getting more connections, being able to network more. So networking is really, really important, especially as Cynthia said, she found a job actually through volunteering and internshipping. So those are just some of the benefits is you're able to meet people in the field that you may really enjoy, and you get to have those connections, or you can call up maybe a supervisor that you used to volunteer with and say, hey, I'm looking for a position. So just having that network and connections with others. And then as far as Jose said, also being able to get that better self-esteem in what you're doing, because then you start to get more experience through your volunteers and internship experience. And so with that, it builds up your confidence on what your knowledge, being more comfortable in the field that you're working at. So these are just some of the benefits that come with doing some volunteering or internshipping. So another question that I have is, how did you both incorporate, time management with all these responsibilities? If you were going to school, but then also doing volunteering, maybe you're working as well at that time. So any tips you would like to share as far as how you organized yourself?
For me, right now I work I'm an assistant manager for retail, and during my free time I also do volunteer internships. And basically the way I handle all of that is just I will use like a calendar like behind me, and to help me to keep time, like which keep up to like what assignments or projects is due on a certain date. So for me, the keeping a calendar is easier, and also like I have a notebook that I carry with me, like where I just in case like I need to change something when I get home, so I could just go to my calendar, just change something. So that's my way of keeping with time. management.
How about you, Cynthia? Did you have any tips to share as far as time management? How you work with that?
Yeah, I think just as along the same lines as Jose shared, I have multiple calendars. I have my online ones. I have one that's like specifically for school, one for my internship or job searching, and all of that. And I would say that at the time when I was doing my internship, working and going to school, I didn't have much of a social life. My social life was my involvement on campus because I was also part of a club on campus. So um, I was just really busy, and I honestly don't know how I did it looking back, but definitely having an agenda helped. Having like friends that were kind of on the same boat, where we could plan times to meet up and like study helped a lot too. Because at the end of the day, like the number one priority for me was school and making sure I passed my classes. So that really helped to have like a community of people to also, you know, help keep me in check and staying on top of things as well. And then also knowing when to ask for help was a big factor as well. So I was able to ask the people from my classes for help if I needed like notes, as well as professors. And if I had like a final or a midterm, my supervisor for my internship was always understanding. So if I needed to, you know, switch my hours around, that was really helpful as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like both of your guys' tips for students and for the parents too as well is to just get a calendar if that's part of your routine or if that's how you think you can stay organized. I know some students don't like to use a calendar, so you can always use the calendar on your phone. Even if you have an iPhone, you can schedule in appointments, anything important there, which is really great to use for some time management of when to schedule things you need to get done, and then when you want some time to also have that social time with friends or family. Like Cynthia said, it's really great to have a really good support system too. If you are doing all that, that also really helps. And that could be a support system, not even through your friends or family, but also through where you're actually volunteering or interning. Like Cynthia said, her supervisor was able to be really flexible with her while she was interning, but also going to school. So it's really important too that, you know, when you are looking to volunteer or intern, you find a place that you really enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, then you know what you don't enjoy, but also to find a good supervisor and a place that you really like to go to, because then it may not even feel like work. Maybe that's why Cynthia was able to take on so much, because it was really enjoyable to her to do volunteering or interning and be pretty busy. So these are just things to keep in mind. And then Cynthia also said that she had a friend, or you could have a friend that, you know, volunteers or interns with you if their careers align with yours, and that can help in making it some time that you can spend with your friend, as well as interning or volunteering at a place you both really enjoy. So those are just some tips to keep in mind. So another question that I have for you both is, in what way did your family support you when you were looking for volunteering or internship experiences? And did you ever volunteer together with your family?
So, like for me, my family always been like very supportive of my decisions, and usually they will like give me advice, like and to maybe like recommend me to like not do too much and maybe take like breaks and give yourself time for yourself, because Andrea was doing too much and it can burn you out. And so like they would tell me like just take like a few days off, and so you won't get burned out, tired. So, but overall, they always been supportive of my volunteering and internships.
So that you would say your family, Jose, kind of helped support you by letting you know when to take a break?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's good to hear. How about you, Cynthia?
Initially, I think I mentioned earlier, my parents pushed me to volunteer or find a job when I was a junior in high school. So that was kind of like my first experience. But in college, I didn't live with my family. So the way that they were supportive, I would say, is that they were understanding if I like couldn't go home to visit because I did have responsibilities, like with my internship or with school, whether it was like over the holidays or just like on the weekend. So that's how they were supportive. They were understanding of the responsibilities that I had here in LA.
Okay. So yeah, so for both of you, Jose, your parents letting you know when to take a break and hang out with them, and then Cynthia, for you, it was more your parents pushing you to do volunteering and internships, and later on towards college, your experience with your parents was being able to have them understand when you had certain responsibilities you had to take care of it as well, and being understanding about that. It's great to hear from both. So another question that I have is, what advice would you give to students who are looking to get more involved? Is there any resources you would recommend to them? What advice would you give them?
I would definitely ask, like, whether it's like a professor, maybe. If you're taking a class and you find it really interesting, you can ask your professor how you can learn more about it or how you can be more involved. They might know organizations that they've worked with or people that they're familiar with that are doing that kind of work that you can get involved in. I would also say going to the career center at your school. They have they I mean it's changed a lot since I was an undergrad, but I would imagine they have like a directory of all the different places you can volunteer or do internships at. And I know I found my internship through like Google at the time. This was before like LinkedIn and other things were a thing. So definitely just like ask around and see if your college also has those opportunities where if you do volunteer somewhere, you could get credit, a class credit for it. I know that was really helpful for some of my friends. At the time, it was like really hard getting enough units, and I know you need enough units to like qualify for financial aid. So that was like a way for them to ensure they had enough units for that. And yeah, just ask the networks that you have on your campus at your school. Your tuition does pay for the career center and for all of those opportunities. So just take as much advantage of those as you can, and then as well as exploring the student organizations. I know that the organization that I was a part of, the Feminist Club, we organized volunteer opportunities. So we would go volunteer as a group to different things, and a lot of the student organizations also do that, as well as like I think sororities and fraternities have a focus on that as well. So there's also those opportunities.
How about you, Jose?
For me, I will use. I mean, I will have like my teachers or professors. I'll tell them a question like, how do you find resources for internships or volunteer, or even like Cynthia said, I use Google and websites such as like volunteermatch.com or laworks.com. For me, those were very helpful to help me find places to volunteer.
Yeah, so sounds like you guys have a good idea of like what resources for students to use to find volunteers. Again, Cynthia and Jose, you both mentioned like professors or teachers reaching out. I think Cynthia, you even mentioned Google. That's how I actually found out about my internship was Google. So if you are interested in like working at a hospital, it's called COPE, COPE, but that's a really good internship. You get to work on the different departments. So internships really give you that opportunity to work in the field. Some other resources, which I think we'll be able to put either in the chat or in the comments, is internships.com. It's via Chegg, but you can find internships there. You can also find internships on volunteer, or you can find volunteer opportunities on Volunteer Match. That's a really great one, a big database. Volunteer Match is really great for finding all different kinds of volunteer opportunities, from working with animals, from reading books to children, to helping out in a park, to working at a beach, to working with kids with autism. There's a number of different volunteer opportunities on Volunteer Match that you can find. There's like endless. You'll get quite a few results within your city, and then without your city. So those are great resources to use if you're trying to find a volunteer or internship position. And then also, yeah, just using Google is great. Specifically, you can Google up maybe if you're looking for an animal shelter you want to volunteer at, you can just look up animal shelter volunteer opportunity and just see what comes up in your area. So those are really great tips from both of them, and then just some resources as well as internships.com or Volunteer Match. There also is LA Youth. So if you're looking for something in the LA area, you can also look it up there. They have some opportunities there for teens specifically. And then Volunteer Match, you can pick your age, you can do filters. So that's a really great resource to use. So on to our next question. So what do you think students can take out of their volunteer or volunteer or internship experiences? What do you think they can gain from that?
I think one of the biggest things that they can gain is knowledge. So like learning about the community. I know for me, I'm not originally from Los Angeles. So when I started volunteering and doing my internship in LA, I started to learn more about the communities here and getting to know more of like where I can help, kind of what I like about education and the different organizations that I could potentially work at or volunteer at. So that really helped me. And I know especially for students that may be going out of state or, moving, it could also help them build a community and get to know other people that have a common interest. So if like you're volunteering, say like at a recycling, or you're interested in like environmentalism, then your other people that are volunteering there are interested in the same thing. So that helps you kind of like build connections with other people and make friends possibly.
So for me, I believe like it helps you when you like volunteer or do an internship, helps you to see, I guess, what type of work environment you want to be in, and also the type of people you can work with. Also like help you find your interests and skills, or even like develop your skills and build your resume. And for example, like I remember when I was volunteering for family and schools, I learned that to improve my like my time management, and also improve my like research skills or even discover skills that you didn't know you had before. Like I didn't know I had organization skills until and one of the staff from family schools told me that I was good at organizing stuff. So I guess it could help you, discover your skills or improve your skills, and use that skills, I guess, in your career or in college.
Yeah, so like from both of you, some takeaways you can get from volunteering or internships is, gaining more skills, or even, as you said, learning those research skills of even looking it up. It could just be, you're starting to gain skills that you may not have known that you previously had before. Through these internships or volunteer opportunities, you can increase your communication skills with others, interpersonal skills with others. Maybe you can work more on your technical skills if you're using a computer at the place you're volunteering at. So you can gain really valuable skills that'll help you in the future with not only school, but in your future career path. Even if it's not a direct volunteer place that you or field you want to work at, you're still gaining other skills that can help you out in the future. One main one is just communicating with others and making connections is something you will be doing in the future at any career. You will have to do interviews. So that's also another great benefit of volunteering or internships is during your interviews, you can talk about how you worked at an animal shelter and you connected with others, or how you cleaned up a park and that's how you were able to learn about maybe agriculture. It just depends on, what your interview is for. But again, these volunteer positions and these internship positions all have these transferable skills that you can bring into new career paths and be a high candidate for getting a future position in your career. So another question that I have for both of you is, what was your favorite part of the extracurricular activities you were a part of? So what was your favorite out of your experiences?
So for me, my favorite part was just interacting with different people, making friends, and working with other staff members, and just also like feeling the sense of achievement and feel like you're doing something important for your community, and this and also like helping you, like that you are able to make a change in your community without doing anything like nobody can tell you like, oh, you can do this, because based on your experience with volunteer work, that will help you, boost your confidence and motivate you more to continue volunteering or do internships.
My favorite thing out of all the extracurricular activities that I did was definitely being the president of the feminist club on campus, because we were able to fundraise enough money to attend a conference in Chicago, which was like our first time. So some of my group's first time even ever being on a plane, especially our first time being out of in Chicago and out of state for some people as well. So that was a very amazing experience that we were able to have just by being involved on campus and working with professors and with our community to fundraise enough money to attend. So I would say that's like my highlight of possibly like my undergrad, being able to have that experience. So I'm really grateful that I was a part of that, and I was involved in the club on campus.
Yeah, so it sounds like for both of you, Jose, you really got out of what was really beneficial to you and you really enjoyed was being able to give back to your community and help others out. So for you, it was really important to just be able to work in your community, serve your community. And this is a really great thing. I mean, they even say it's really beneficial for your health just to do something to give back to others. And then as far as Cynthia, her favorite thing about volunteering and her internships was she really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed being able to have that opportunity to actually intern or volunteer. So that's why we say take as many volunteer opportunities as you can, because you may like one really so much that you really enjoy it. You want to go back to it all the time. You can meet others with it, actually make friends there. As Cynthia said, she traveled. So there are some volunteer and internship opportunities where you can travel as well. So it doesn't limit you. You only gain more from it. So you can travel, you can meet new people, you can learn new skills, and this all comes with trying to do your research on looking for opportunities in interning. I know there are some internship opportunities that you can fly to specific places to help out others. So you can also travel with those volunteer internship opportunities as well. And this also looks really good on your resume as well. So, but another question we have is, are you currently still involved in the extracurricular activities? And are they still now, are they connected to your work? Or is there something new that you guys may want to explore in the future?
So I actually just finished my fellowship with families in schools, which is an internship, and I was lucky that it was a paid internship. So I would say that's like the biggest barrier, I think, for most people to do internships or volunteer, because a lot of them are unpaid. So I was very lucky to come across this fellowship that was that they did offer us money and they were paying us. Especially now being a graduate student, it's a lot harder to come by, through scholarships and other financial aid opportunities. So that was really helpful for me. And I just finished it about a few weeks ago, actually. And that's why I'm here. They gave me the opportunity to come back and talk about all my various experiences. So aside from that, I do want to continue volunteering now because I am in the mental health field. I am looking for volunteer opportunities for like a crisis hotline where I would be helping young adults with like suicide prevention and things like that. So I am still looking for opportunities to continue growing my skills and learning more outside of my program.
So for me, I just like a few weeks ago, I just finished an internship. It was for a nonprofit called the Korean Resource Center. So basically, it was for doing like phone banking for like DACA students, like making sure Congress passed and the law for DACA, having them the right to work here and live here. And we did I also did write like essays and workshops, and especially like this internship was for undercommunity students like myself, because I did kind of struggle finding internships for DACA students, and was to help of connections that I have made in the past, and also like the internet, like Google, that helped me to find this internship. So that was very helpful for me.
Yeah, so it sounds like both of you had you still want to continue to volunteer even now. So you might even get addicted to wanting to volunteer more, even when you already feel you are confident in your field, just because you really enjoy what you're going to be doing within volunteering. again, Jose brought a really good tip, is just, being able to kind of have that networking again, piece with volunteering. And then also, I think Cynthia previously mentioned it, but, Jose said how a challenge is that he wasn't able to find internships for DACA students all the time. But the way you can kind of find out other opportunities is even through clubs on campus as well. So, being part of clubs on campus, maybe even there's a Dreamers Club on campus, and using your resources to the colleges you're going to. All colleges have specific clubs on campus. They have a lot. So that's something to also keep in mind for volunteer opportunities, as well as even jobs on campus. And as Cynthia mentioned previously, also using the Career Center there, in the future. So just utilize your resources also at your future school or on your campus. And also one tip as well is, just reaching out to maybe family members or friends that are in the field that you're thinking about going into. You can actually ask them for an informational interview, or ask them questions about, oh, how do I get into this field? Do you know anyone I could shadow? Is there any internship opportunities that that are available for someone that's thinking about going into this career? And, they could also give you some advice on what you can do. So it's good to have, again, those connections, connecting on campus with those resources, and being able to kind of think about clubs as well. So to kind of summarize up before we're going to end, I just wanted to keep that in mind, that to thank Cynthia and to thank Jose for being here. And I just wanted to kind of summarize that, we were able to listen to both of their journeys today. If you want to say something before we go, Cynthia or Jose, just some last tips or any last minute advice you want to give to the students or for future parents in volunteering, you could go ahead and speak right now if you'd like.
I would just encourage them to apply, even if they don't think they're going to get it. I didn't think I was going to get the internship at 826 LA when I applied, but I ended up getting it. So you never know, whatever you write or whatever you put out there might be what they're looking for. So just take that chance and apply.
Also, for students who are maybe how I was, very shy or timid or afraid to get out of the comfort zone, I would recommend them just try volunteering. Just find a place that you'd like to do, or even Google search a place something that you would like, and I promise that will help you get up there, and you go see a lot of changes around yourself, and maybe discover new things that you didn't know about yourself. And I discovered a lot of things about myself doing all these different volunteering internship. And yeah, so I would recommend students just to get out of their comfort zone and discover new volunteering internships.
Yeah, so you're hearing it from all three of our previous experiences on all the benefits of being able to volunteer and intern. Again, like Cynthia said, just apply. You never know. So always just apply. She didn't think she was going to get it, but she did. So same thing with Jose, being able to gain your confidence by volunteering, to gain skills. You get to put more on your resume. You get to meet new people, make those connections, learn more about your field, and actually be in the field, not just read about it on a paper. You're able to actually put yourself in that situation, find out what things you like and what you don't like, and be able to learn a little bit more through supervisors, and just be able to find out what you really enjoy doing. So just keep that in mind. Some of the tips that we got here today was, have that support system, be able to stay organized in your own way. And then just remember, your ultimate goal is, you wanting to progress in your career and gain those skills, get out of your comfort zone. If you are shy, these internships can help. Same thing as Cynthia said, just put your foot out there. You never know what's going to happen. So just through their previous experiences, even through my experience, internshipping and volunteering always is really beneficial. And you can either just do a simple Google search, or you can use also Volunteer Match, which we listed. Again, that's a really, really great tool to use if you're looking for volunteering and interning. So just wanted to close out. I'm going to thank the panelists again for being here and being able to give us the opportunity to hear about their journeys. And so these are just some really beneficial things. Again, stay organized, use volunteermatch.com. Just apply. Even if you don't think you're going to get it, apply. And so I'm going to hand it over now to Jessica Torres, the Community Engagement Coordinator, and she'll end us off with some announcements.
Thank you, Andrea. And just thank you to Andrea, Jose, and Cynthia for such an amazing panel. I feel like, I learned a lot. I hope the students and families watching at home have been able to learn as well. They provided such great advice, and just like being able to hear about all the positive impact of their experiences was just wonderful and lovely to hear. So I hope that you have been inspired at home to go ahead and go out there and volunteer, look for internship opportunities, and perhaps be able to do with your family. Also, just writing a list of what you're passionate about. That's like a great start. And it's never too early or too late to start. So go ahead and get out there, and then hopefully we'll be volunteering sometime soon. So with this being our second to last panel, we have one coming up on July 28th, and that'll be our last panel of the summer. So we hope you can join us that day as well. And that panel will be on the importance of self-care. And you will have the opportunity to hear from a middle school student, a high school student, a current undergrad student, and a graduate student. So it's going to be a great panel. So go ahead and join us on July 28th from 5 to 6 p.m. And we'll have our last and final panel of the summer for Passport to Success. And again, it's not too late to register and to sign up for Passport to Success. You can go ahead and you have 2 weeks left to go ahead and fill out the workbook and submit it to us by August 1st. The deadline is August 1st by 11:59 p.m. And also, as a reminder, these recordings will go up on our website. So go ahead and feel free to reference back to them. Feel free to share with your community and your students. All of these recordings of our live panels can be used for the student workbook. So please go ahead and use them. And just thank you again to our incredible panel. I feel like I learned so much, and I hope everyone else has learned from them as well. And just continue working on your Passport to Success workbook. Feel free to let us know if you have any questions and submit by August 1st. And we look forward to reviewing all of your awesome submissions. So thank you so much for joining us today, and just have a wonderful night. Thank you.